A request for some deviations from the instruction notes has been submitted to the National Treasury. Workstream 7 is led by the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure, NATJOINT, with its key focus on matters relating to the security of essential or critical infrastructure, as well as crime and corruption. This workstream has already been granted the necessary approval as a priority committee of the NATJOINT, which allows for the requisite oversight and allocation of resources by the government security cluster stakeholders. The workstream has undertaken various engagements as part of analyzing the security-related challenges and is in the process of finalizing the relevant operational plans for approval by NATJOINT. The operational plan has been developed, which in the main focuses on key high-risk rail corridors and the deployment of law enforcement resources in addition to the security resources deployed by Transnet in terms of the outcomes-based security contract, which has been recently implemented. The initiative to review executive management has commenced, and for the sake of credibility and impartiality, the review will be conducted by an independent service provider. The procurement process for the provision of leadership assessment services has been finalized, and an onboarding process for the provider has been concluded. And the competencies to be assessed have been identified and agreed upon, and this process will be completed before 30 of November 2023. Transnet has developed a portfolio of important initiatives as part of its pursuit of digitization and innovation, with the goal of improving organizations' efficiency. The single source of truth is one such initiative that addresses the accessibility, accuracy, and transparency of information. This initiative will assure the provision of measurable key performance indicators from a validated and reliable source housed in a single secure data platform with pertinent and predetermined definitions to ensure there is no ambiguity in performance reporting going forward. The immediate objectives are to ensure data integrity, validation of data sources, eliminate manual reporting, invest in infrastructure, integrate data seamlessly, test and fine-tune the system, implement a robust change management strategy, and use machine learning and artificial intelligence to predict trends and make informed decisions. This will enable agility in responding to critical problems and improving operational efficiency. Significant progress has been made with the various operating divisions and groups to gather, understand, and design the reporting KPIs using the single source methodology. The system went live in May 2023 with visual dashboards and KPIs being reported on by the organization. Transnet is reviewing and improving the internal control frameworks to ensure the root causes of areas that require intervention as determined by the Auditor General are addressed. This entails supporting operating divisions to ensure uniformity across the divisions and improving the internal control environment. The internal audit will conduct additional levels of reviews of the various processes on a quarterly basis, supported by follow-ups and reporting on the audit action plan progress monthly. To address the risk found during the external audit, crucial business and financial reporting controls will also be updated, and control procedures will be improved to address document management challenges by the 31st of March 2024. Various initiatives have also been developed to improve revenue generation and cost management. And Michelle will talk about these later on. Just to talk about the financial position of Transnet. Transnet's financial position has deteriorated in the last 5 years, and this is threatening our sustainability. For instance, in this period, we have seen a decline in revenue generated while our operating expenses have increased. Between the year 2017, 2018, and 2022, 2023, the revenue fell from 72.9 billion to 68.9 billion, which translates to just minus 1% compound annual growth. During the same time, our operating expenses have increased from 40 billion to 46 billion, demonstrating a compounded annual growth increase of 2%. As a result of the decline in group revenue and an increase in operating expenses, Transnet has experienced lower operating profits in the past 5 years, as reflected in the decline in the EBITDA from approximately 32 billion to 23 billion. And this ability to improve profitability has contributed to the increase in total borrowings from 123 billion to 130 billion. Let me deal with a few issues that relate to employees. We believe that employees, they are a cornerstone of our business, and the recovery plan will focus on building and embedding a culture of belonging, productive and resilient relationships, and a positive employee experience. Regular engagements with organized labor are necessary to ensure a stable and a sustainable operating environment and business transformation. Effective engagement structures will be implemented to improve employee engagement and information sharing, and to create opportunities for organized labor to constructively engage with the Transnet leadership. And key themes include implementing the culture journey, enhancing financial health and wellness programs, and enhancing safety programs. And an employee survey will be conducted before the 30th of November 2023 with an external company, and the report will be submitted to Transnet management by January 2024. Transnet Integrity Unit focuses on detecting, preventing, and investigating fraud and corruption within the company, and it has an in-house investigation function which handles all allegations and supports law enforcement agencies. The unit also manages whistleblowers and their information. The NLCC also has established an anti-corruption lab. The purpose will be to prioritize matters that have a significant impact on Transnet's ability to achieve its mandate. Transnet is working hard to fill the executive positions left vacant by the departure of the Group Chief Executive, the Group Chief Financial Officer, and the Chief Executive of the Transfreight Rail business. On behalf of the board, we would like to thank them very much for their contribution, and also wishing them everything of their best in their future endeavors. The roles have been advertised internally and externally, and Transnet will in due course provide further updates on developments in this regard. The board of TNPA has now been appointed, providing certainty over the governance and management of this key part of Transnet's business. Transnet is also preparing to implement the minister's instructions regarding the TNPA's Memorandum of Incorporation and Companies Act exemption. In conclusion, in many respects, the recovery plan provides an opportunity not only to turn around the business, but to turn around the business reputation. The next few months are therefore critical, and management and the board are giving this priority attention. And we will continue to work with all of our stakeholders, our employees, organized labor, government, business, and other key stakeholders, and as we stabilize Transnet and position it for growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. If I can ask Michelle to now take us through the recovery plan.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief, members of the board. Good morning, everyone, members of the media, the colleagues online. I have to say, it's interesting that we are in Kabeja or Port Elizabeth this morning. Probably quite apt. It's where I started my career in Transnet in November of 1999. So I suppose I've come home, and it's always good to be home. We will present to you what we consider our Transnet Recovery Plan. You'll note we talk about reinventing for growth. As an organization, we understand that this organization requires a transformation, and in order for us to do it, and in fact we have done some deep introspection together with the board, and this has resulted in this recovery plan that we now want to make available to you and present to you. As we go through this plan, we are presenting it to you at quite a high level. You need to take note that behind all of these initiatives that we present to you today, we have detailed action plans that indicate timelines, responsible people, because the expectation is that now is the time, in fact, for us to really come to the party to do what it is that we are employed to do in this organization. We are here to serve the South African economy. We are here as members of Transnet to ensure that we do our utmost to move people out of poverty, and in everything that we do on a daily basis, we have to ask ourselves the question, is our contribution touching the lives of ordinary South Africans on a daily basis? These are the things that as Transnetters we take very seriously, and it's important that every single employee in Transnet, as well as all of our stakeholders, understand why it is that we are here. We are fulfilling our purpose, and we really need to get to doing that to the betterment of all South Africans. We will, in terms of the structure of the presentation, what I'll attempt to do is to give you an overview of where we find ourselves, and attempt to try and explain how we got here, how did we end up where we are, and then, indicate in doing that the burning platform and why there is a need for change. We follow that with an indication of how we propose these actions be implemented. We've indicated in consultation with our labor colleagues what the targets would be for the organization. We do that in tranches of 6, 12, and 18 months. And the reason why we have to do that is because this burning platform requires that we have certain immediate actions that can be implemented, from which we can get some quick wins. You know, and we are quite aware of the fact that there's a credibility that we need to rebuild in Transnet, the credibility with our employees, credibility with our stakeholders, particularly our customers. Throughout the plan, we have to be very clear, none of this would be possible or is possible without collaboration with all of industry. We run a system where different people are responsible for different parts and different nodes of that system. And if that system is out of balance, you see the output and the outcome would not be desirable, probably where we find ourselves right now. So a lot of work to get the system back in balance so that we are able to allow our customers and the economy at large to move in the direction that is favorable for all of us. We will indicate to you the funding and financial constraints that we are in. There's been a lot of talk about Transnet and its conversations with the Department of Public Enterprises as well as the National Treasury to talk about and to request support from government to enable us to do what we need to do to get this business in a sustainable condition. And then we will also indicate to you how we intend to monitor the performance as we go forward over the next 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. I will then attempt to close it all off towards the end. So in terms of the burning platform, I'm going to try not to repeat what the chairman has said. He's indicated. This is the picture, though. It's not a pretty picture, but it is our reality right now. You'll see that we've moved from a 226 million ton volume in 2017-2018, impacted, of course, by COVID in 2019-2020, but quite a sharp decline and ending off the last financial year at 149.5 million tons, the lowest in quite a while, you'll note, and also leading then to the 5.7 billion rand loss that everybody is aware of. You'll also note on your right, in respect of the port, our port volumes and the decline in the port volumes, but largely the economy that's a result of that. But I think all of our customers are aware. I've spent quite a bit of time with them over the past few days and weeks in terms of the congestion that we are experiencing in our ports. This is the container numbers, and you see both on the containers and the automotive. Automotive doing pretty well. Containers also a relative decline there. On the pipeline volumes, this operating division trying to recover, but also largely impacted by the economy. You'll note that the majority of our products are now being imported, which has also resulted in some kind of a decline in our numbers. But the size of the cake in respect of our petroleum volumes is what it is. This operating division will, however, despite the drop in volumes, still achieve its revenue targets. In respect of the revenue numbers, you are all familiar with these numbers, where we ended up at this last financial year, 68 billion, compared to where we come from of 72 billion. So again, marked decline. You'll note an increase in the operating expenses due to a number of factors. We are all aware, increases in the prices of energy, petroleum, etc. And then also you'll note the EBITDA line at the bottom there, indicating a marked decline in that number as well. At the bottom left, you'll note the borrowings that the chair has mentioned, sitting at 130 billion rand. I have to say, and yes, we've had to engage government. The finance team will talk more in detail about the options we've provided to government. This business requires government support. We've indicated various options, and we are hopeful that government will come to our assistance. We have finance costs, interest charges totaling up to 13 billion rand, a billion rand a month. It's placed us in rather a difficult situation, and one which we need to get out very, very quickly. That being said, we understand that we run a throughput business, and with improvement in operations and the rate of production, that will impact the revenue that we should be earning in this business. So that burning platform, I hope I've been able to sketch a picture of where we are at, and then to look at how do we propose we move out of the situation. So we've developed a number of strategic initiatives over the last few weeks together with the board. Initiatives that seeks to optimize the business, but at the heart of it all is to drive efficiencies, to deal with immediate operations issues. It's expected that we optimize and that we enhance the activities within our organization. So there will be a deep focus on the recovery of volumes from key operations. The chair mentioned earlier the identification of priority corridors, and the teams that we've put in place to now move and push the volumes within those various corridors. Deep focus on improving the execution of our approach so that we can drive commercial returns across all of our operations. Also, I've talked about reinventing for growth. As I've indicated, a transformation of this business is absolutely necessary. We cannot continue to do the same things to expect this, and expect different results. It requires all of us to really dig deep and do what we have to do to ensure the sustainability of the business going forward. We have also attempted in our engagements and continued engagements with government to align to the freight logistics roadmap, and those conversations are ongoing, and we indicate the progress in respect of some of those initiatives. At the heart of it all is the need to meet and exceed our customer expectations. We've had several conversations with those customers, and they are quite eager to collaborate with us going forward. As we go, you'll see that the focus primarily on rail and port. If we understand very clearly that if we sort out the challenges that we have on the rail side, it pretty much will have quite a big uptake in terms of our performance and the gaining some confidence with the market at large. In our recovery objectives, you'll see that we talk about recovery of volumes, we talk about effectively allocating equipment and in the right areas, focusing on the high margin traffic, those commodity corridors that we've identified. There's a number of low-hanging fruits, things that we can do immediately, and then optimizing on our rolling stock portfolio. The Chair has mentioned the split of the operating of TFR into the operating company as well as the infrastructure manager. A lot of work has already been completed in that respect. We are ready to publish at the end of this month our draft network statement, as well as present to the interim regulator options in respect of tariff modelling going forward, in readiness for allowing third-party access by April 2024. Of course, we will work quite closely with the industry at large to ensure that private parties are ready to be able to get access onto the network towards April 2024 next year. Transit engineering, we have been very specific with transit engineering as to what it is we require from them. They are expected to support the operations of TFR so that they have the necessary equipment to be able to deliver on the volumes that is necessary to move the customers' cargo. Our customers have indicated transit is not a demand problem. We are sitting with huge stockpiles at the mines, and these need to be moved as a matter of urgency to the port so that they can be exported. In respect of the port, a lot of emphasis between the Transit National Ports Authority as well as Transit Port Terminals. On the port terminal side, focus on the congestion that we are currently experiencing on the water side, getting the commodities off the water with urgency. They understand, and we've been very clear with all of the ODs regarding what it is expected. On the Port Authority side, there will be quite sharp focus on, yes, marine services, but also collecting what is due to the organization and managing customers quite well. Thank you. This next slide purely talks to, let's call it the building blocks. You'll note at the apex of this triangle is operational execution. Transnet, again, it is a throughput business. Our revenue comes out of moving volumes in and out of the country. If our production is not at the level that it is supposed to be, we do not make money. When we do not make money, the economy suffers. So operations execution is what this plan is directed towards, to enable us to be able to do certain things with speed and immediately. You'll note the building blocks that leads to improved operational execution. I'm not going to mention all of the detail. Equipment, infrastructure, critical. Our people, everybody comes to work. We do what we need to do to ensure that we move that extra ton on a daily basis. Procurement, we've had several conversations with the National Treasury regarding some of the constraints that is placed upon us by the Public Finance Management Act. A lot of work being done to see how we can best procure to the benefit of all of our stakeholders. Maintenance, the Chair has mentioned the matter of the backlog, and we need to catch up because, again, our equipment, some of it has reached its end of life. A lot of work needs to be done to babysit all the critical equipment to ensure that we don't have unnecessary interruptions in our operations. Funding remains critical, and we'll talk more further to the funding requirements. We will show you where we will end in the next 6 months. We will end in the next 12 months, as well as in the next 18 months. Also, highly dependent on what government is able to assist us with. We understand the need to crowd in the private sector. When you have a business that requires investment, you need to go to where the money is, and it's important that we understand, bring it in private sector. There's no attempt at all to privatize our operations. We are bringing in the private sector on various models, concessionary basis. We are not disposing of core assets. However, we require the private sector for funding, we require the private sector to improve on skills, and we require the private sector to assist our people to further improve on the rate of production within our organization. Digital transformation, critical. A number of our processes have been manually based. You can't expect to compete with the rest of the world if you are not digitally savvy or not digitized to the right levels. And of course, I think at the core of everything of what we do is that we will do this without compromising safety. So I suppose this is the slide that everybody has been waiting for. What it is that we are putting on the table, what it is that we are committing to as an organization. We spent quite some time with the different operating divisions. Now, when we talk immediate actions that need to happen, I think what's also important is that as an organization, certainly myself as acting GCE, I've indicated to the board as well as to the ministers, I do not intend for Transnet to make any promises that it is not able to keep. Our customers require certainty, and all that our customers require is that we are very clear about what it is that we want to achieve, what our plans are, who's going to be doing what, and what the timelines are. You'll see that we've put a number here of 170 million tons. That is the number that we are putting at, and it is a very, very steep target. I'll talk to it in a bit more detail. You'll see the green line, within the green there, 154.4 million tons. That is the number that we have indicated to the board and to the shareholder that as Transnet, we feel over the next 6 months, we are capable of achievement. We believe it is a doable number. It will not come easy. I have to say that if we are able to achieve this, it will probably be the first time in a 10-year period that Transnet is able to achieve in the second half of the year more than what it has achieved in the first half of the year. So it is a steep target. However, if we do nothing and if we continue on the same trajectory, we would end up with 141 million tons. So our commitment is that a number that we seek not to go beyond is the 154 million tons. However, internally, with every employee, every manager, organized labor, the number that we will stretch to achieve is 170 million tons. And we hope that we should be able to, in fact, I'm firmly of the belief that we should be able to end somewhere between the two numbers. Should we end up with the 170 million tons, the commitment then is that in the year 24-25, Transnet would be set up quite well to be able to end that financial year on 193 million tons. Now, later on you will see, because I know it's probably a question that everybody will ask, what does that mean in terms of the financials? We will show you. I can say to you right now, getting to 154 million tons will still leave us in a loss-making position. We'll indicate to you what that is, as well as if we get to the 193, you will see where that will take us, should we be able to achieve that number. But I think what's important is that everybody knows what is being, what we work towards, and that everybody knows what is required for those numbers to work. We indicate to you the numbers in respect of the container sector, the automotive sector, as well as the bulk mineral numbers. You'll see on the container TEUs, we are projecting 4.9 in 24-25 and 4.2 in 23-24. On the automotive side, we're pretty close to that number. We believe that is capable of achievement, definitely 803 units in 23-24, that is end of March, and then 851 24-25 financial year end. On the bulk mineral side, this includes iron ore, very critical to our business, manganese, magnetite, chrome. We'll see the number there of 87 and 77 as at 23-24. Those are the targets that we will be aspiring towards. This slide seeks to give you some level of detail in terms of the kind of things that we want to do. Now, again, as I've indicated, because I do not want anybody to speculate, behind all of this are detailed activities, in fact, down to very specific actions, the benefit that it is supposed to provide to us, the responsible people, the expectations from those people, as well as the dates. But you'll note that, you'll appreciate it is our way of managing our business. We are giving it to you in a high level, in a way that I think you will understand what it is that we were doing. However, in respect of our customers, this is what we will be sharing with them, as well as the National Logistics Crisis Committee, so that everybody knows what it is that we are working towards and the kind of actions that we are implementing. I'm not going to go through the detail of all of that, Ayanda. I take it this will be provided to the media in any event, but you'll see broadly operations optimization initiatives, all of the ODs who are impacted by the type of initiatives that we indicate there. I've mentioned the issue of rolling stock, on the focus flows, coal line, the ore corridor. I've mentioned the operations in the ports, the focus on turning vessels around faster so that we can reduce the congestion, get the product in and out. And then also, how will we be monitoring the performance through what we call operations excellence centers, and Dr. Shaw will talk to you about how we intend to do that and how that will work. Improved maintenance, we have established partnerships with OEMs so that we can get access to IP and technical support, plans for availability of spares. This particularly for our TE division is critical. If we go to the next one, you'll see we talk about the reform of TFR. I've mentioned to you earlier the split, the vertical separation of TRIM, the infrastructure manager, and TFROC, and a lot of work that has happened there. It's important that we enable third-party access to the network, so that work is ongoing. And then improved commercial discipline. We move volumes. We expect to be, when we meet our customers' expectations, we expect that this business, that our revenue improves if we do that. There will be certain rebasing of tariffs because we cannot continue to be operating flows in a loss-making state. And then, of course, reducing the cost of operation. We have implemented very, very strict cost optimization initiatives. And yes, again, we've seen it on social media, but I think any business, right, it's about making money. You spend to make money. Where we spend, it will be for revenue generation, so that we can improve, but also if there's waste in the system, we need to cut out the waste so that we can improve the profit line. Optimization of the procurement function, as I've indicated, a lot of conversations with the authorities as to how we can deal with urgent and emergency procurement. In this business, we need to get things done very quickly, and we can't be hamstrung by processes that possibly take too long. And we're hoping that the authorities will assist us in that regard. So a lot of work to enable us to clear backlogs, but also we are quite constrained by certain policies, NIP, PPFA, certain National Treasury instruction notes, and we are confident though that they will hear us and that we will be able to put measures in place to enable better procurement functions. And then the last two, as we've indicated, private sector participation, critical for us. We have to undertake focused transactions so that we are able to crowd in the private sector so that we can unlock growth. Again, this is about investing in this business. It is about improving skills, getting access to industry knowledge, as well as improving the financial position of Transnet. And then again, I've indicated the critical importance of digital enablement. I'm going to hand over to Shlenjiwe, who's the acting GCFO. She's essentially going to present to you the slide. I've indicated to you the 154, where that will land us, and then the 170. Shlenjiwe, can I hand over to you?